Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming to this event. We have a very important announcement today. The Connecticut Hispanic Democratic Caucus, which I'm a member of, is going to officially make an endorsement to who I believe one of the best candidates that we have in this race for U.S. But before that, my name is Ramon Arroyo. I'm a member of the 3rd Assembly District Democratic Town Committee, and thank you for being here. And with that, I would like to introduce our mayor, Mayor Pedro Segarra, to give some welcome and greetings remarks.
Thank you. Good afternoon, buenas tardes. It is indeed an honor for me to be here today to support someone who has been a friend, a colleague, and also a mentor for many, many years. Congressman Murphy has stood side by side with me, waging many battles that other people will normally shy away from, and which he basically not only supported but stood in the front lines, in the front ranks. And I'm talking about everything from educational opportunities to marriage equality and many other issues that are very true and dear to me. Chris has also, for many decades, shown a strong willingness and desire to be allied with and supportive with our Latino community. Now, this past weekend, I had the chance to see Congressman Murphy battle it out with those who aspired to the office of U.S. Senators, and in that debate was any sample of how much more qualified he is when compared to the other folks that are aspiring that office, that it was no surprise to me that the Connecticut Democratic Caucus would be inclined to be as supportive as I and others are of this candidacy. But Chris Murphy not only talks the talk, he walks the walk. He has been very supportive of many organizations and programs that have benefited our community directly, our Latino community. And he's also concerned about the issues that should be of importance and are of importance to the Latino community. And I'm talking about issues of education, issues of making sure that our kids, both young and older, have the best chance for educational opportunities. He has been a strong supporter of the DREAM Act, has been on the record supporting that, has been a strong supporter of our Spanish American Merchants Association, and also has been supportive and has put his actions behind supporting Job Training Act for our community. So for all these reasons, it is my honor and my pleasure and my privilege to support Chris Murphy and join the Connecticut Democratic Caucus in supporting Chris Murphy for his race for U.S. Senator. And I know that he's going to do an excellent job. And not only will I support him and endorse him, I'll be out there on the campaign trail making sure that I do my best to make sure that we elect him resoundingly to the U.S. Senate. Thank you.
Without further ado, I would like to introduce our Connecticut Hispanic Democratic Caucus Chairman, Tomas Reyes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and it's a pleasure to be here and an honor. We are here to very publicly state that the Connecticut Hispanic Democratic Caucus endorses Chris Murphy for the U.S. Senate seat. This endorsement, everyone should know, comes after a series of discussions and interviews that we've had. We had an interview early on in the year in June with Chris Murphy, along with the other candidates that were then running for the seat. We also finished having a debate that the mayor alluded to on Saturday with the other candidates. And I think that we asked him very pertinent questions about where he stands on issues that are critical to our community. And I must say, I can't say it any better than the mayor said it. Chris Murphy responded very well, and we also know that is just not talking the talk. He's got a track record that he can speak from, unlike a lot of the other candidates. So it's an honor for us to be here today endorsing this campaign. We urge all of the voters in Connecticut, this is a critical time for us to have a senator that we can talk to, that understands what we're saying when we speak to him, and that has the knowledge and the ability to go back to Washington and work in trying to enact the programs and the laws and the funding stream that we need for our community. So it is a pleasure for me to introduce to you the next U.S. Senator from Connecticut, Chris Murphy.
Well, thank you very much, Tomas. Thank you so much to my great friends, Mayor Pedro Segarra here in Hartford, and thank you to the Connecticut Hispanic Democratic Coalition for this endorsement. This ranks up there amongst the most important days of this campaign for me, because we are in for a fight this November. We are going to be up against more money than probably has ever been spent in this state on a statewide race. And to know that I have the power of the caucus behind me, to know that I have their voices speaking for my candidacy, gives me confidence that no matter how badly outspent we may be in this race, that we're going to have more evangelists out there talking about the stakes of this race, that we're going to have more regular people speaking for us. And I couldn't be prouder to have their endorsement today. I really did enjoy the debate that we had this weekend, and I hope that members of the caucus did see some real differences between me and the other candidates. What I've said all along is that I hope that the work that I've done with the Latino community over the past 5 years has been an advertisement for what I hope to do in the United States Senate. The fact is that we're right now making a decision in this campaign and the government as to whether government is going to work with families in need, whether you're Latino, African American, Asian, or Caucasian, whether we're going to have a government that's going to be a partner with families to be able to aspire and rise into the middle class. We're making a decision as to whether we're going to continue to invest in early childhood education. We're making a decision as to whether we're going to continue to help kids go to college with the support of college aid. We're making a decision as to whether we're going to still have things like Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security to allow for people to hit hard times and bounce back up again. And we're making a decision as to whether we are going to do immigration reform in a way that stays true to our values as a nation built on diversity, a nation built on immigration, or whether we're going to do immigration reform in a way that tears this country even further apart. And one of the things that we talked about in this debate this weekend is my support for the Dream Act, my support for a pathway to citizenship for people that are here without documentation. I think the only way that we heal the divide that has been created over the past 5 years through a very divisive conversation about immigration is to pass the Dream Act, is to pass comprehensive immigration reform that gives a pathway to citizenship for people that have been here for a period of time, who have played by the rules. I think that's not only a smart thing to do from a policy perspective, I think it's the compassionate and right thing to do for a country that needs to celebrate. It needs to celebrate our heritage of immigration. It needs to celebrate what Latinos have meant and do mean to this country. Come out to my district. Take a stroll down the main street of Danbury, and you'll understand what Latinos mean to Connecticut. Downtown Danbury would be barren, would be empty if it wasn't for the dozens of Latino businesses that have reclaimed the downtown. Those streets would be empty if it wasn't for the Mexican immigrants, the Ecuadorian immigrants, the Brazilian immigrants who have come to Danbury, who have come to Waterbury, who have come to Hartford, and have allowed these cities to thrive. That's a success story that we need to tell as a state. But it's only a success story that continues to be a success story if government does the right thing. if we help Mayor Segarra make sure that he has all the resources necessary to educate Latino kids here, if we take on people like the mayor of East Haven who try to score cheap political points through dangerous rhetoric about Latino immigrants, we need to stand up for the partnership that's going to make Latino families whole, and then we got to have a backbone when people try to drag us down with the wrong kind of talk. So I can't wait to run this campaign side by side with Tomas, with my great friend Hilda Santiago, with so many others who have made this caucus strong. This is a very important endorsement because this is a very important organization that has proved its mettle. When it speaks and when it makes an endorsement, it goes to work. And you just have to go down the hill to visit Governor Malloy in the state capitol to know what this organization means. I hope that it pays the same dividends for me over the course of the next 6 months. But that's just the beginning, because my commitment is to not just to run a race with this organization and the Latino community out front. My commitment is, if I am lucky enough to become the next U.S. Senator from the state of Connecticut, to strengthen this partnership through my service to the state of Connecticut. And I just want to say once again, thank you for making me a part of this process. Thank you for your faith and your confidence in me. I will repay your generosity in kind with, I hope, the strongest voice that Latinos have seen in this state, in the United States Senate in a long time. Thank you very much.
Bravo.
Now, I would like the press, if they have any questions to the congressman. Any questions?
What about secure communities? Would you like to see that repealed?
We talked about that at the debate. In fact, there was a specific question on secure communities. I don't think secure communities works today. In the right hands, secure communities could be an important tool, but it leads too often to unjustifiable profiling. And I'd like to see us go back to the drawing board and find a more reasonable way to go after criminals in this country without catching too many law-abiding citizens in the net of law enforcement. Well, again, I'll be available to talk to TV cameras after this, but thank you very much, everyone, for coming, and thank you again to the caucus.